Hello there, my stamping friends. It's Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I am here to stamp with you for the second time this week. This is my Thursday edition of Facebook Live, and I've been doing this every week, the Thursday edition, I think since about the beginning of COVID, the whole COVID thing. So I've been doing my Tuesday at 2 for probably coming up on about 2 years, and then because I traditionally had done a lot of live classes, I added on my Thursday so I could hang out with you guys and stamp with you guys. Hey Marlene, I'm glad you're here with us today. And also draw in some of our friends from afar. So I'm just getting all of my notifications turned off and volumes turned down so I don't get disturbed when I'm in the midst of stamping with you guys. So I have something fun for you today. Hey Diane, I'm glad you're here, and Velma's here. Gail is here. Welcome, welcome. Thursday, I do simple and stepped up stamping. And although I've been working with In Colors for quite a few weeks now, probably a couple of months, I'm doing a little bit of a detour today. Because of our mini catalog, and it launched for all of you guys on Tuesday this week. For those of us who are demonstrators, we've been able to order from that holiday catalog for all the month of July. And so we've been purchasing and playing and just digging into this fantastic, more seasonal catalog. There's quite a few things in the holiday, I keep calling it the holiday catalog, the mini catalog that can be used throughout the year. And hi Susie, I'm glad you like simple and stepped up. I'm enjoying doing it, I'll tell you. It kind of makes my brain think in a different way. But I think there's quite a bit in this mini catalog that kind of goes that you can use throughout the year. So welcome Grace, we're glad that you are here with us as well. So I'm going to give it just another minute or two, partly because I'm still kind of clearing my space here. I'm in the process of doing a little bit of much needed reorganization. I think that's something we constantly do as crafters because our needs change and they evolve. Hey Darlene, I'm glad you're here. You know, sometimes we start one way and then we work for 6 months or 8 months and we find we're using more dies or less dies. Hey, thanks, Darlene. I'm glad you like my top. Sometimes we're using different spaces in our studio or our bedroom or wherever we're crafting. Sometimes we're just doing more scrapbooking, less scrapbooking. We're doing more card making, less, we kind of evolve as crafters, and I think that I know for me, my space has to evolve, and I have a large space, and although I have a large space, Darlene can vouch that I tend to kind of occupy every square inch of it. As my husband says, if there's a horizontal surface, I'll find something to put on it. And I'm a pile maker. I don't know if there's any pile makers out there, but I'm a definite pile maker. So I'm always working to reduce the piles. Hey Mary, I'm glad you're here. Always working to reduce the stacks of stuff that's everywhere. But I know for me, personality wise, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. If I don't see it, I will not even think about it. So I have to leave things out that are still, I'm still working on them. Of course, I can still be working on them for a long time and not touch them. But enough of that. I am going to flip the camera down and go ahead and dig into something fun from the holiday catalog. Okay, bear with me here for just a minute while I get us positioned. Hey Terry Lynn, I'm so glad you're here with us today. Here we go. Okay, let's see that is going to look in the feed. I have to check how this is measuring up in the camera, or in, I I have to look on my computer and see how it looks. If I am where I need to be or if I need to reposition a little bit. So let's just see. Darlene, you have lists. I have piles and lists. So yeah. Okay. I think we have to find what works for us, and you know, that can also change with age, with responsibilities, with tasks, with all kinds of things. Okay, my computer is still not showing me what it looks like. Okay, I don't dare go beyond. I don't dare start moving until I can see. I think I'm past the lag time, so let's just see if I can see what you're seeing before I move forward. Hopefully you're seeing my holiday catalog. And I am on page 39. If you are following along with me, I'm on page 39, and I am going to be playing with this Snow Wonder bundle. It caught my eye from the very beginning. Darlene, my assistant, she said, yeah, that stamp set totally has your name on it. And it does. I think the artwork on it is a bit Dickensian. It definitely has an old-fashioned vibe, which I really, really love for Christmas. I kind of love it anyway. I have a house full of antiques. But I will say for Christmas, I like traditional. I like things that are, I guess, homey and bring that sense of timelessness, as it were. Tradition, the honoring of tradition, and obviously, well, I say obviously, and of course honoring faith. And I think this brings all the things together. So what I want to point out to you before we start stamping is the fact that, first of all, the artwork is exquisite. You have this snowman, pine trees, and a wreath, kind of classic wintry images, which kind of translate into the holidays. But also the images have exquisite artwork, and they already have a lot of texture built into them. They already have a lot of shadowing and things built into them. But look at the greetings, and the snowflakes. Don't forget the snow. And there are 3 different ones, which is awesome. The font is very delicate and very feminine and very pretty. I love all 3 of these because I have Christmas wishes and joyful greetings, which is great on the outside, or Happy Christmas, which is, you know, we spent 9 years in England. This is used a lot in Europe, Happy Christmas. And then I love, love, love this inside greeting. Sending you blessings, peace, and magic this Christmas season. Because I celebrate faith in a big way during the holidays. I mean, Jesus is the reason for the season. We would not have Christmas without Jesus. But I do love, there is just a sense of, and I believe it's part of our faith, that there is a sense of magic during the holidays. And I love, love, love this greeting. So, the nice thing about this stamp set, and this is what it looks like when you get it, and you'll notice that I have marked on here, hey Susan, I'm glad you're with us. I'm just marking the price on there. It just makes things easy for me when I go to do something like a buy one, get one free event. But I also, it just helps me to have that reference. So this is the die cuts, which are absolutely terrific. Not only do you get something that's going to cut out the trees and you don't have to do any fussy cutting. You know, I'm almost allergic to fussy cutting personally. These cut out the images really nicely. But then on top of that, you have a couple of really, really nice labels. And that little, you see that little guy up there? That tells you that's the top of the wreath to make it easy to line up. You get this beautiful, beautiful label. And then you also get this little label. Now you see, although that fits that perfectly, I could use this on a whole host of things. So I could just crank out, 10 or 12 of each of these in Whisper White, and then I would have lots of labels ready to go for my stamping. Then, and I don't have a sample over here to show you, these are actually really lovely. These are impression dies. So all these do is build that impression. They look fantastic on the foil papers. And again, I just don't have that at the moment. I'm still, believe it or not, I'm still breaking down from retreat, and I had helpers here yesterday working on my first live. I'm doing a live face-to-face holiday kickoff this weekend. So I can't lay my hand to it. These are beautiful on the foil. And again, they just impress with these snowflakes. They don't cut them out. So I will have to show you those at another point. So let me put these away so I don't get them going everywhere. Here we go. And I just have what I use for my storage for my dies. These are our regular clear stamp cases. And I put a little piece of, what do you call it? Not metallic. Magnet sheet in there. And I will show you the way that I do mine. And this is just a light magnet. It's not anything super strong. But it works really well for my purposes, and I like the way this fits on my shelf. And if you didn't have shelves, I think it would also be a nice fit. Let me just move. I have to figure out how I'm going to eventually settle on putting these guys in here. So let me show you the way I do. I like to do this in a way that's very affordable and practical. Let me just grab one of these for you to show you. I get these from Home Depot, and that is the cheapest magnet that I have found. Let's grab one of these to show you. The clear mount cases are about 5 by 7, and these are the magnet sheets that I use. Okay, let me get repositioned. So this is what I use right here. Yes, these are magnetic vent covers. And I take them, and you get 3 sheets per package. And they are about $5. So, okay, so Susan, Amazon sells them too. I mean, I typically have my husband pick them up when he's in Home Depot, or I have them shipped from Home Depot because they also will ship to you. And so Amazon, I know that Amazon sells magnetic sheets. I don't know how they stand up price-wise to this. Again, you get 3 of these sheets for $5, and then I take these and cut them down so I can get 3 of these per sheet, and there are 3 sheets in here. So I can get 9 of these out of here, and they're about $5. So that works really well for me. And they are just magnetic vent covers. So that is what their original purpose is, but they are magnetic. And I like the fact that they're a thin magnet. They will look like they have adhesive on the back, but they do not. So this is white back here, but this does not peel off. So you will need to put some tear and tape or something similar on the back. So that's just a little side note, but it is an effective way to store your dies, and it is my favorite way. Okay, let's do a little simple stamping here. You can see I've got my little host code here. Oh, I forgot to bring, I gotta go get my note card. Hang on one second. I forgot the most important thing. I forgot the note card. So this is what I'm using today, and I think these would make adorable, simple Christmas cards or thank you cards for the holidays. And I think that this would also, if you like stamping with a child or a grandchild or a niece or a nephew, I think this would equally make a great project for a younger child because it's so simple that you will be amazed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one ink pad, my Memento ink, And I'm going to use this gorgeous, gorgeous snowman. Wait till you see how he looks. Oh, Susie, I'm glad you like my magnet sheet tip. Okay, I'm going to stand up because this is, when you're stamping with a large stamp, you always, well, you don't want to do this because it's harder to get a good application of ink in my experience. So I like to stamp from up above and stamp with the stamp pad directly onto the stamp versus the other way around we traditionally do. Now I am going to I've already got a smudge. Hang on, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to do something here because it looks like I've got some ink on my fingers. Okay, I don't know where I'm picking that up. Okay. I'm gonna put my snowman just a little bit over to the side here, and I'm just going to stamp him. Make sure I'm back in camera. Am I needing to come down a little bit, I think. Isn't he gorgeous? Isn't he just gorgeous? I mean, boom, that's it. That's all I did. Now, I'm going to take my greeting and put it right at the top. Hey, Laura, I'm glad you're here, and Jan is here. So this is a Whisper White note card. This measures 3.5 by 5. It mails for a single stamp, and I think you get 20 in a package, and I think they're about $7. So really, really affordable. And again, this would be a great project for you if you want to make some really quick holiday cards or for a kid. So now, hey Crystal, I'm glad you're here. I'm going to put my greeting right up here. Again, I'm going a little bit to the side, and I'm doing that on purpose, and I'll show you why. Look how cute. I mean, that is the epitome of classic and simple. Now, I'm going to grab something. Well, I'm going to grab two things. I'm going to grab a couple of markers, and I'm going to color him in just the tiniest bit. Now, because this is cardstock, and even though it's thick Whisper White, the blends will bleed through. So I'm going to resist using my blends as much as I use them most of the time for my coloring. And instead, I'm going to use just a regular old Stampin' Write marker. And I'm going to just color in his scarf to bring a little bit of color. I could use him just black. I mean, black and white, he's really gorgeous. But I'm going to add just a little bit of color. Also, if you're here in Texas, as well as several other states, if you have tax-free holiday in August for back to school, check your state. If you do have it, Stampin' Up, a number of our items qualify as back to school, and our markers are one of them. Our markers and our blends. And for us, tax-free weekend is this weekend. So I am using Real Red and Garden Green Stampin' Write markers. And I'm using these because they won't bleed through my cardstock. So just that little bit, look how that's dressed him up. Now, I'm going to take one other thing, and then I'm totally done with this card. I mean, this is like the essence of a quick card. This is the Playful Pets ribbon combo, and it gives you both of these fantastic, this twine and this ribbon. So you can kind of see where I'm going here. I'm going to take this ribbon, and I am going to make just a simple knot. And I'm looking for scissors while I'm talking. There's some here. I need to get some proper scissors over here at my desk. You know what happens is I come over here and I do Facebook Live with y'all, and then I don't come back to this desk until it's the time for my next Facebook Live. And true confessions, I oftentimes do not clean up in between. I will say I make my bed every day, but I do not clean up my stamping area every day by a long shot. If you don't want the blends to bleed through, I will tell you that what I would do if you want to use the blends, Susie, is they will bleed through because they're alcohol markers. And what I would do is simply cut a Whisper White panel to put inside here to cover that. So that would be your easy fix. This is a 5 by 3.5. So if you were using a note card, if you were using a Whisper White card, I would do the same thing. Just put a panel on the inside. Now, look how sweet and cheery that is. What I can do there to just kind of keep that from rolling is to add a single candy. You should really look after the area a little bit better. Well, I can't even find, let me go get a poker tool. Here we go. I've got my pick tool. And what I like about this is whenever you're using, and I'm going to roll this because I only need a little bit. I'm going to roll that up. I'm going to put it right under here, and I'm going to anchor my knot. And that is going to keep my, let me tuck it in. That's going to keep my ribbon from rolling back and forth. So that's it. I have one glue dot and no adhesive anywhere else on here. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Yes, I did add just a little bit of color, Diane. So what do you think? There is my super, super simple note card. Now, I do like to stamp on my envelopes, and of course, I did not bring another block over here, but I think what I will do, oh, I do have this because I'm going to use it on my stepped-up version. I'm going to actually just put a few, and I'm not even going to use it. I could do these in blue, but I think I'm really just going to use my black ink pad because I think they're going to be really bold and kind of match the rest of what I'm doing here. I mean, look at there. One and done. I mean, that is like the quickest card. But look at the artwork. I think it's just gorgeous. If you wanted to, you could add a few other things. But what I'm going to do is we're going to add a few other things on our stepped up version. Okay, so somewhere here I have somewhere here I have a Whisper White card base. This is a thick Whisper White card base, and I have cut it. It was sometimes referred to as the hot dog versus the hamburger. This is, or sometimes called, a top fold version. So let's do the same exact thing, but dress him up just a little bit. Now, let me pop this here. I'm going to ink him up again from upside down, as it were. And I'm going to, once again, stamp him over to the side. But now this is my traditional 5.5 by 4.25 card size. So I have a little bit more room here. You can kind of see the difference. They both will mail for a single stamp. And I'm going to take this and still put my same greeting up at the top. But I'm going to dress it up just a wee bit, and I'll show you what I mean. So now I'm going to step it up a little bit. Now I forgot to put this on the inside, which I need to do on both. So let me put my inside greeting on while I have it out here. This I will put on this in the center, sending you blessings, peace, and magic this Christmas season. That says exactly what I wanted to say, and it says in the most gorgeous, gorgeous font. I love this font because it almost looks like somebody has handwritten it, if you had perfect handwriting, which I actually used to have lovely penmanship when I was younger. Remember, anybody else remember penmanship class? I loved penmanship class. I thought it was just the bomb. Used to practice different styles of penmanship, different styles of capital letters and all of that. I've always loved pens and paper. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a couple of little bits and pieces, if I can lay my hand to them, yay. So now I'm going to add a little bit of cardstock. I'm going to add a little bit of black and see what that does, how that brings it in just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of plaid. What do we think about that? And this is from the Plaid Tidings. And then we're going to add just a little piece of red cardstock. So tell me what you think about my stepped up version. It's ever so slightly stepped up. We're not going to step it up much. We're just adding a few little details. I'm still going to color him in with my red, real red Stampin' Right marker. And I'm just doing his scarf. And it has this beautiful, beautiful detailing. You can tell it's a knitted scarf. And I'm going to hit the holly berries. And then let's get the holly leaves. Just a wee bit of color. And now let's stick these pieces down. I mean, these are really just, this is like using your scraps. That's all we're doing here, is we're adding a few scraps. Well, let's see. There we go. This is the new Stampin' Seal, which I am really, really loving. For those of us who loved Fast Fuse, it's much more like Fast Fuse. It's much heavier. And then, let's see if I'm going to either put my, I think I'm going to put my plaid there because I'm going to run that little piece of red right here. And I think that is going to be better than that little piece sticking out right there. So, Terry Lynn, you are liking the little details. Yeah, they're just ever so slight. You know, sometimes a little detail makes a big, big difference. Okay, let's pop this right next to it. I mean, I'm not even using any ribbons, so this is really, really economical. Super affordable. Probably need to lift this a little bit because can I do it? Oh, I should just leave it alone. I think I'm a tiny, tiny bit crooked. It's handmade. That's what I always tell my stampers, and that is what I will tell myself. And there's a little tiny, like a little doodad down there. When I'm doing little tiny things like this little strip, this is going to be easier than trying to put. You see how your adhesive here is wider than that? So mini glue dots to the rescue. I tell you, mini glue dots go to the rescue a lot. Oh, Kathy, I'm glad you made it on time with us today too. It's fun to be together and in this live format because we don't have the opportunity to be together in any other way. This really serves purpose, I'm finding. So there, now let me turn right side up to make sure I'm straight. There is my super simple card. If I wanted to, I could always add a little, let's want to. That's kind of a happy little mistake. What do you think? Should I add that little bit of black up there? Now the other couple of little details I can add. I could add some blue snowflakes. Don't know what that would look like, but I think we will try it out and let's see. And I'm going to try it out by using, this is just a little 3x4 piece of Whisper White cardstock. 3x4 is a great, great size to work with. It makes a great little focal piece for so many of our layouts. So let's just see what it looks like if I were to add some blue snowflakes. I don't necessarily want to add them, and then if I don't like them, I can't take them away. So this is going to allow me to try them out without committing to my actual card. So let me clean my stamp there, and I'm just going to take some Pool Party ink, and let's see what we think. Oh, Terry Lynn, I'm glad you're casing this. I'm so glad. Okay, let's see if we like this. Ooh, do we like these or not? Snowflakes or no snowflakes? Now let me just put it on here and tell me what you think about adding those snowflakes in with my black, white, and red color combo. Let me go ahead and color him in. And I think the other thing I love about this is that it only takes a couple of seconds. And I think when you have artwork that's this pretty, it just doesn't take, I think if you colored in the whole thing, it would almost take away from the detailing of the artwork. So I'm waiting to see what anybody has to say about whether we're going to add this in or not. No. I don't know. What do we think? Do we like that, or do we like it without the blue? Hey Jane, I'm glad you're here with us. Okay, Darlene's saying yes, add in the snowflakes. And I also would like your opinions on whether I should add in a little bit of twine up at the top, tying in that black and white in one more layer, one more dimension, as it were. And this is really just a single layer card, which I personally oftentimes struggle to do. I think when you bring them down this simple, for me, it challenges my brain. My brain wants to complicate things. So tell me what you're thinking. I do already have, yeah, I have my greeting on. Oh, that would be cute to put the snowflakes in there as well. Just saying. Okay, original idea is your fave. Original for Terry Lynn, no twine. Okay. So we don't want to make it too fussy. We want to keep it really just simple. Okay, Diane likes the snowflakes. A lot of people like them. I think we're going to add the snowflakes because then we have the original with none, and we'll do snowflakes on our larger card. And I think I just smeared some ink. Well, let's see if I can get the stamp pad open. There we go. Now, the other thing I could do, let me just try something here. See, when I get on camera with you guys, it just causes my brain to just fire like crazy, and I just want to keep going. How does it look if I add, oh, if I stamp it off and make it lighter? I think I like that. So let's, I've got a little scrap here. Let's stamp it off, and then let's stamp it on. And it's lighter. See how pale that is? And I think that's what I didn't want although this is Pool Party, it seemed like it was really bright with that red. And I want that red to just so pop. What do we think? Snowflake sequins would be another fun thing. I'm kind of liking this. And I think less is more. I could add a third set down here. Maybe I should. Let's see. I don't want to stamp on that. So that is what I will do to keep that from going on there. Okay, so I've got a couple little sets of snowflakes there. Now, the only other thing that I would consider adding, because I think it's really pretty swift, and again, here is my original note card. Here's my stepped up version. I honestly like them both. The one thing that I would consider adding is my favorite embellishment, if I can lay my hand to them, is sequins. Not sequins, sorry, rhinestones. So I have a couple of options here, and I was thinking about adding some sequins to his front. So you guys tell me what you think, and I'm not going to add colored ones because, again, the whole black and white vibe of this card I want to keep, but maybe add just a little bit of shine. So let's see what we come up with on a few little rhinestones. And you you know what, that one's extra big, so let's just use a larger sequin because we can. Oh, I think that dresses him up nicely. Y'all tell me what you think. Stepped up and simple. Classic, classic Christmas. You don't really think about black and white for Christmas, but I think that this really showcases the artwork on this card. So tell me what y'all are thinking about these, and I have a couple of other samples to show you using the Snow Wonder bundle. Hey Betty. So here's simple and here's stepped up. And we stepped up just by adding a little bit of layers of cardstock and designer paper, and by adding some rhinestones as well as some colored snowflakes. Here's the original that's just really simple stamping and a piece of ribbon. And both of these ribbons, this is a combo from the Playful Pets. So if you like black, white, and red, but you're not keen on the Playful Pets suite, I highly recommend this combo, this ribbon and twine combo. Just really classic. And again, for those of you who are coming on a little bit later, this would be a super fun card to make with kids and grandkids, nieces, nephews, neighbors. Kids are needing something to do right now more than ever. So reach out to the kids in your neighborhood, and you could set this up as a little kit for them. I mean, it's just a couple of stamps. It's ink and paper. It's really, really simple. And when you use the note cards, it's even more affordable. Okay, let me show you a couple of other samples using the Snow Wonder bundle. This is one that I did for a swap that my team was doing, an organized swap. So here you can see I'm still the same vibe, but a different color scheme. So here I've taken my snowman and I've just colored this time I colored the scarf green. And then I did heat embossing on the label, on the, what do you call it, on the greeting. And so this is on Pool Party, and a little bit of shaded spruce here. So, and I do adore these adhesive backed snowflake sequins. I think they are the bomb. I love the fact that they are already have the adhesive on them. So let me show you a couple more that I got in an organized swap. So here again is kind of a stepped up version of what we did today. Let me take it out of the plastic so you can see it a little better. This one, she has cut out the snowman. Oh, I didn't see. Now you see, this is what happens when you take it out of the plastic. I don't know if you guys can see. On this black layer, there is that snowflake, like an embossing die, and there are just some delicate snowflakes on there. But this really showcases the dies. And again, the embellishment is just that simple red rhinestone. This is what I love about this stamp set, is the stamps are just exquisite, and you just don't need much else to really showcase them and highlight them. Now she did color the his buttons, as it were, with a red marker, and that's it. Now let me show you this one, which is in Pacific Point. This is Laura Milligan. Bright, bright blues. I mean, oh, and there you, oh, now this is the new Snowflake embossing folder. This is one of the new designer papers. This is part of the Snowflakes, it's got a different name. There's a whole Snowflake suite. This is the new ribbon that I absolutely love, and it's actually part of the Snowflake suite, I believe. This is Pacific Point, and I would not have thought that that super bright blue would necessarily go with a Christmas set. Isn't that cute, the way she put the Happy Christmas label right across the snowman's tummy? I think that's super, super cute. And then last but not least, I've got one that I will confess to is not my favorite, but I like to show because Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and different people like different things. I see the vibe that she was going for, but I don't know that she quite achieved it. This one, I love the fold. Look at the fancy fold on this is the bomb. I think I probably would have done the snowman, and this is heat embossed. I probably would have done him personally, maybe in a lighter color or something to make him stand out a bit more. But I have to say, this is that embossing folder, evergreen embossing folder that I was working with you guys here last week in this time slot, in my Thursday time slot. But again, I really do like what she did with the fancy fold because it interlocks. You see how that locks there and this locks here. So I do like the fancy fold aspect of this card, but I think this guy needs to be a different color, and maybe I'll just remake him because I can. This is mine now. I now own this. So that is what I have for you today. This is my host code for this month. When you order with this, you get some gifts, and I just want to also remind you, if you are not already on my email list, you want to be getting my emails where I share lots of news and information that would be helpful for you. Very vanilla with a light gray. Oh, that's a great idea, Sarah. I like that. So here is today's projects. There's our simple card, and there is our stepped up card. As I just sign off, I have a meeting, an online meeting at 3 o'clock, and I am super excited about this mini catalog. It's just got so much to love. So I hope that you are getting excited about it too. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Send me a private message. That's probably the best way to send me a private message through Facebook. Many of you have my phone number, which I publish freely in my email. I'm happy to get texts from you guys. Honestly, and I tell my team the same thing, texts will get my attention quicker than anything else just because of the way I have my notifications running. So I can answer your questions quickly that way. And if you would prefer for me to place your order rather than doing it online, I'm happy to do that. Our online store has had a huge it's not even a makeover, it's like a brand new platform. And it's really gorgeous, but it is different. If you're used to placing orders in my online store, it looks different and it functions a bit different. I think it's easier technically, but if you're used to one way and you're having to change, sometimes you're just used to it. And so it's a little bit challenging maybe. So if you have any problems at all with that online store, or if you just want me to do it for you, I'm happy to do that. I think that if you are unfamiliar with the online store, the new, and it just, it went new Tuesday, so it's brand new. And I'm not aware of any glitches with it at all. Get on there and just play with it. Do some searches on it and try to find some things and see the pictures, the visuals are gorgeous. Excuse me. Sorry about that. The last 2 times I've sneezed on here. My once a day sneeze has been on Facebook Live. Go figure. But there's the visuals on the new online store are just outstanding. They're so improved. So I highly recommend that you just get on there and kind of play around and see what you find. I do have a host code if you're shopping that I appreciate you using. It helps me, and then I turn around and give you free gifts when you use that host code. So that is all I have for you today. I will be here Tuesday at 2. And for those of you who are coming, I don't know if anybody on here is coming to my live. I'm doing a face-to-face holiday mini catalog kickoff this Saturday. But this was my trial balloon to see if people wanted to do in-person gatherings. Yeah, people are not ready. In my area in San Antonio, where COVID is still really, spiking, just beginning to kind of come down from a big spike, people are too spooked and they're not really ready to do much in the way of face-to-face gatherings. So I opened up an event with 36 spaces and I have 12 people coming. So that tells you right there. And I would typically fill those 36 spaces So yeah, it's just people are not ready to get out. People are happy to craft at home. So I am happy to help you craft at home and send you kits and classes by mail and tutorials and all kinds of fun things. So that is it. I will see you here next Tuesday at 2. Take care and God bless.